Oh! I didn't expect to see you again so soon after your last appointment. Hello again. What seems to be the issue? Oh! You're having some chest pain? Alright, that's okay. Just stay calm, alright? Don't worry, we're gonna get you through this. Now, can you tell me when you started noticing the pain? The day after your last appointment? That was last week. Why didn't you come in sooner? I see. It wasn't too bad, so you thought you'd just pulled a muscle or had a pinched nerve? Alright, well, that's understandable. And I'm guessing it got worse and that's why you're here today? Alright then. Now, I'm gonna ask you to try and describe your pain. Is it kind of a sharp stabbing sensation, or is it more of a dull, blunt pain? It feels a bit like a dull pain? Alright then. And when do you notice it? Is it constant? Is it only when inhaling? Only when exhaling? It is constant? Alright. Has it been like that since you first started noticing it, or has it progressed to becoming constant? It's been constant ever since you started noticing it. Okay. And has the pain gotten gradually more uncomfortable, or did it just suddenly become unbearable? You think it was gradual? Okay, well, if it wasn't sudden, it would definitely have to be gradual. Let me see. Do you have a family history of asthma or cardiac issues? Alright. And are you on any new medication? Okay. And this might sound a bit strange, but bear with me. Are you under any extreme stress currently? Yes, I do mean emotional stress. Why do I ask? Well, sometimes your emotions can become so strong that they translate to something physical. For instance, if you think that you're getting sick, even if you have no symptoms, you might start to show symptoms of getting sick. It's called being psychosomatic. Yes, it also occurs when under stress. For instance, some people experience headaches or migraines when they're under severe stress. Not necessarily because there's anything physically wrong with them, but because that's how their body is interpreting the stress. You have been experiencing some stress? Okay, could you tell me a bit about that? It started recently. Okay, well, already we've got some good information here. About how long ago did the stress begin? Soon after our last appointment? Okay, then it makes sense that the chest pain would have started then. And has this kind of stress happened before? It's new. Alright. Have you ever had sudden chest pain any other times that you've been stressed? No. Is the severity of this stress a bit more different than previous times you've experienced it? Alright, well, that would certainly explain it. And again, this might sound a bit odd, but bear with me. Have you ever been diagnosed with something like anxiety? Okay. Alright, let me just add some notes to the chart here. Okay. It does sound like this is stress-related, but we are going to need to keep you for observation. No, there's no need to get worried. Honestly, with the information you've given me, it seems like it's something emotional being translated into something physical, but we do need to keep you for observation just in case it is something more severe. In all honesty, it doesn't seem like it's more severe, but we do need to make sure that you're gonna be okay. Okay? Alright, come with me. We'll get you to your room. What was that? How long will you have to stay? Well, there's no easy way to answer that. You see, it does depend on whether or not the pain gets worse, whether or not it subsides. Odds are, if it's from stress, being out of the environment that's causing you the stress should help. So, hopefully you'll be out of here by tomorrow. But if the pain gets worse, we are gonna have to run some more invasive tests, just to make sure it isn't anything more severe than stress. In all likelihood, I don't think that's what will happen. If this is just stress, which I think it is, I'm sure that you'll be out of here soon. What would we do if the pain is still there tomorrow, but it's not as severe? Well, we'd run a few labs to make sure everything is okay, and probably prescribe you a painkiller, but it would fit with the symptoms of something psychosomatic. Once you're out of the stressful environment, the pain might not go away right away, but it would start to get better. Yes, so you would be allowed to go home as long as nothing else seemed to be an issue. You're a bit nervous about this? Why's that? Do you not like the hospital? It's okay if you don't, I won't take offense. Honestly, doctors' offices used to freak me out, and then I became a med student, and once I understood everything that happened, they freaked me out more. Yeah, sorry, that's a bit of a joke I used to lighten the mood. It doesn't always work, it's a bit hit or miss with that one. Yeah, realistically, there's nothing for you to be worried about, okay? I'm gonna take good care of you while you're here. I promise, nothing bad will happen to you. Oh, I see. So you tried to look up chest pain on the internet before coming here, so you're a bit paranoid? That's alright, that happens a lot. We see it all the time, actually. I promise you, if we saw any signs that something more was going on, we would be acting on it right now, okay? Yes, we'll monitor you closely and we'll make sure that nothing else happens to you. Yes, that does include when you're sleeping. How will we do that? Well, we have cameras in all of the observation rooms and plenty of monitors at the nurse's station, so we'll be able to watch over you while you sleep, even when there aren't as many people around. But there will still be doctors on call, so if anything happens to you, which I assure you I don't think it will, you'll be okay. Will I be on call? Would it make you feel a bit better if I was? Then yes, I'll be on call. Well, sort of. I'm not necessarily just saying it to make you feel better. I was going to be on call tonight, but I'm letting you know to help you feel better. If it would have made you feel better if I wasn't on call, then I would have just told you I wasn't and then avoided you like the plague. Which we actually did have pass through here recently. It was kind of alarming. But everything has been sanitized, everything has been checked and rechecked for traces of anything that can make you sick, and I promise you are completely safe here. It doesn't exactly feel that way. Well, tell you what. How about I sit with you in your room unless I get paged somewhere? I can stay with you all night as long as no emergencies occur. Of course I would do that for you. You've been a patient of mine for years. Do you really think that I would let anything happen to you? Well, okay, I would let good things happen to you, for instance, the pain subsiding and you going home tomorrow, which I'm sure you want to do, but I won't let anything bad happen to you. At least, not more than is already happening if this really is just stress making you feel pain. You don't really think it's bad stress? What do you mean by that? The stress you've been feeling is a bit similar to anxiety? Is it anxiety over something maybe new and potentially good? Okay. Could you tell me a bit more about it while I get you set up with these monitors here? Oh. Oh, I see. There's a potential relationship involved. Okay. Well, that makes sense. After all, if you've been diagnosed with anxiety, you definitely would get a bit anxious about potentially starting a relationship. I know I would be. Yeah, I do have a minor case of anxiety, so I do understand that. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it does make me a bit of a better doctor. After all, a lot of doctors, they just look at the physical side of things. They don't always consider the mental side of things. And while sometimes that can be helpful, it's usually not. Well, I'm glad that I'm your doctor too. And I'm certainly glad you're my patient. Of course, you can ask me anything. Why are you asking me that? No, it's not necessarily a bad question to ask, but, I would like to know why you want to know if doctors and patients can date each other. Well, I guess that does make sense. It is a pretty big trope in a lot of medical dramas. But, the thing is, it's a bit of a gray area depending on which hospital you go to. For instance, here, it's frowned upon because of conflict of interest and all that. But, generally speaking, I suppose it wouldn't be against the rules as long as you weren't a long-term patient. Yes, I suppose that means that you could ask out a physician who is seeing you. Yes, that also means that, if you wanted, in this hypothetical situation, you could ask me out, since you aren't always going to be my patient, and since I mostly just see you for routine exams. What? You want to know if I'd like to go out with you? Oh my, I'm being paged 911 to the ER. I'll be back in a little while. That isn't a no. That isn't a no. That's just my very fortunate distraction, giving me more time to determine how I am going to accept that invitation without making a fool of myself. So, I'll be back in a bit, and I will definitely have an answer for you. Bye for now. Try not to code while I'm gone, okay? That was a joke. I swear that was a joke.